Hi, Taurus. My name is Missy, and I'm here to read some AstroCharms for the month of August. We are going to go ahead and get right into it. I will pull some numerology and tarot cards to get a good general energy for the month, and then we'll pull some charms to see what the details are. We'll read the charms the way that we would a transit chart. So let me go ahead and give this another shuffle, and we'll get right into the reading. Oh, there we go. We've got pride and change. Oh, interesting. Okay. And then, oh, we've got creativity, but it's in the reverse on the bottom of the deck. Oh, okay. I have to be honest, this feels like a resistance to change, especially if it's something that has to do with your creative process or like what you're trying to create, where maybe you're receiving some advice from someone who's telling you to do something a certain way and you're resistant to that because of your pride. Like you don't, like, I have to read it the way I see it. That's the way it's coming in. Like you are not, like your creativity is suffering because of your pride. You're unwilling to change something that needs to be changed. Right. Okay. So we've got the Hermit and the Queen of Cups. Interesting. You know, this is really interesting because the Hermit and the Queen of Cups together tells me that, and then we've got the Knight of Swords on the bottom. Oh, so, okay. What this is telling me is that you know that you have, okay, especially with this over here, you know that there's an issue going on either with your temper, something that has to do with your emotional self. Like you've already done the shadow work, you already know this is a problem, right? And yet there's some issue over here where you still want to come in and fight, right? Because that's what the Knight of Swords is. The Knight of Swords rushes in to fight. They jump to conclusions. They can be they have harsh words. Like it's just very harsh energy, right? Very fast moving energy. And when you have that energy connected to creativity in the reverse, it's saying this energy is not conducive to creating something positive. You are creating something toxic with this energy, but with this over here, you already know that you're sitting in that energy. So why are you so stubborn and determined to stay there? Now, I think this has to do with work in some way. Or some sort of collaboration, some sort of compromise, right? Something where you would have to work with other people, as we already saw from these here. But whatever it is, you don't really want to work together. You don't really want to make the changes that are needed. And I think that is going to hurt you in the end. But we'll see. Let's get some truths. We have the song Are You In by Incubus playing in the background. That one stuck to my finger till the very end, and I don't know if you saw when I flung it off, it actually landed over here with creativity. And what's so interesting about it is that it's the number 3, which is the number for collaboration, cooperation, and compromise. And remember I said that this is attached to some sort of collaboration or situation where you will need to compromise. And please ignore my ugly nails. I know they're ugly. I know I need to do something with them. I just haven't. I haven't had the time or the chance. So anyway, you are resistant to some sort of collaboration. Why? It's hurting you. It is toxic that you're resistant to it. So, Now we've got in the center, we've got the sun coming up over the clouds, which means there's some sort of clarity coming in for you. And happiness too, because look at the smile on the sun's face. So whatever this clarity is, it's coming in August, and it will make you happy. I think it will restore hope because you have the hope charm also in the center, and that hope was coming out just above the 3rd and 4th houses. So this is some sort of message that has to do with like security, like you're going to gain information that has to do with security in some way, that makes you happy. It makes you hopeful. And now that I'm looking at this, you actually have some very positive charms and runes, like literally, this rune right here, which is the rune of fate that's coming in the 1st house, right? It's saying like you're taking a gamble, you specifically are taking a gamble on something, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's negative. It just means that whatever this gamble is that you're taking, it is a gamble, it is a risk, right? Now, we do see that this is a risk as well here because you're not listening to the advice. Maybe that's the gamble, I don't know. But you do have all of these other very positive runes coming out. And look at, you've got POV, point of view, is coming through very specifically when I look at that. Like point of view, maybe someone else's point of view is more important than you realize. You've got the branded since 1982 charm. So, this is like, it says goods and supplies, branded goods and supplies since 1982, number 0409. So this is coming out in the 2nd house. So this can be those things that you own that are valuable. The year 1982 could be important, or just those numbers in some way, or the numbers 4 and 9, or the month April. I feel like this is like, because it's coming in the 2nd house, it has to do with values, and it's saying branded goods and supplies since 1982. I feel like this is like the establishment of financial security that will be long-term, or has it, maybe this financial security was established a long while ago. Or this is old values that you are carrying that maybe, especially with this energy, this is old values that maybe need to change in some way. Take it however that resonates. So with the arches here in the 3rd house, there's some sort of communication that will help you to, move on to the next chapter or the next big thing to walk through that doorway, right? It's like, it's what opens that doorway for you, this information that could be attached to the letter V, which would be a person, place, or thing. Excuse me. We have the God tier, or the Tiwaz rune, which is basically, for me, this is like strength and being on point, hitting your target. It's all about justice and victory and self-sacrifice. So when it comes to the house that has to do with like how you are of service to others, like maybe you have had to sacrifice, or you will have to sacrifice a person, place, or thing with the letter P attached to it. You're also going to need to be kind and true and loving and brave and strong and thankful and compassionate in all of your dealings and relationships with others. It's interesting that you have the arrow up here in the 9th house, when you have this arrow here. So I think this sacrifice is something that intuitively that you need to do for your own personal growth, because that's what this particular rune talks about. And it's like on target. That's what the arrow means. You're on target, you're on point for your personal growth that is attached to sacrifice, but maybe you're not happy about it. You're resisting it right now. But you intuitively know that you need to do it. So another interesting thing for me is that in the 10th house, you've got this Hawaiian shirt, the eagle upside down, and then you've got the key, the heart, the open heart key upside down. So the solution to your freedom is turning over a new leaf, but because these two we're upside down, and we already saw it right here. You're resistant to it. Maybe you have a reputation for being resistant to change as well, because this is the house of reputation and career. And maybe that's hindering you in some way in your career because you're kind of resistant to this change. Again, take that however it resonates for you. Now, in the 11th house, you've got the number 9 domino, which is the 6 and the 3. And so the 6 has to do with like love and money. And the 3 has to do with cooperation. We've seen the 3 come out before a number of ways over here. As well as over here when it's talking about like changing, and over here when it's talking about cooperation as well. So, you know, I feel like, you know, when it comes to your friends, because this is the 11th house of your friends and your network and your social circle, it's saying, you know, cooperating with others in love. Oh, and look at no matter where, and being loyal to your friends, being, you know, being the support to your friends in a loving way, is going to be very important to you this month, especially if there's a, you know, if there's a person, place, or thing attached to that with the letter O. And then in the 12th house, what is in your blind spot or can be your undoing is fear. Because you've got the lion and the chicken here. So the lion would eat the chicken, right? Like that would be the lion's food, is that chicken. But also strength. The lion is associated with the strength card, and the strength card talks about being courageous. And, you know, chickens aren't always just food. Sometimes, you know, chickens can represent fear. So I feel like that can be your undoing, is fear, the fear of change, the fear of compromise, the fear of working together, the fear of this risk, the fear of changing your perspective. Because you've got point of view here, it's probably a perspective that you've had for a very long time that is outdated. But once you do things with love and compromise, and, you know, you sacrifice your pride, I think it brings in all of this abundance and very positive energy for you. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and leave that here. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, whatever you can to help me get my channel out there, as I'm new here, and I thank you for watching.